Alright, what is good, YouTube? It is your boy Q Dog. We are back again with another Sparking Zero video. It's been a minute, but we're back on the Sparking Zero news grind. I was scrolling on Twitter and I came across this video, and I thought it'd be a good idea to make a video off of this, just giving some initial thoughts and seeing what other people think about it. Shout out to SparkingZero News Guy on Twitter. If you guys don't follow this guy on Twitter, go hit him up, go follow him. If you also don't follow me on Twitter at FreshPrinceQ, go ahead and follow your boy on Twitter. But anyways, yeah. This is something that I think we should talk about. Actually, there's a couple of panels. It was this was the one where he talked about OG Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT. There's a couple of these I want to go over, but let's go over this one first and let's see what exactly he has to say about this.
As you probably figured, we cannot comment at this time. Very sorry about this.
That's fine. I think
Please wait for further announcements.
I had to ask.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I hope so. And that's it. Thank you so much.
So it was a very quick and easy clip, but basically he said he couldn't comment on it. The guy asked him if OG Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT would show up in the game, and he said he can't comment on it. I will say that definitely puts my hopes down a lot for Dragon Ball GT as terms of showing up in the game immediately. I think that Dragon Ball GT, unfortunately, is going to be DLC. I don't see it actually being a part of the main roster of the game, and I say the same thing for OG Dragon Ball as well, because I mean, I know even if it was going to be a part of the main roster, he still probably would say that he can't comment on it. But if you took a look at the last character update and how many slots are open still, there's not that many. And there's a lot of GT characters that need to be in this game, and they just don't fit all the character slots that are left on the main roster. So either they drop like half of the GT characters and leave the rest for DLC, or maybe they just put all of the DLC and all the GT characters into one big DLC pack and you could just buy them all, which is really a cash grab if I'm being honest, because they should just automatically be in the game. I mean, it's Dragon Ball GT. I know it's kind of like separate from Z and Super, but it needs to be in the game. It definitely needs to be in the game. I really do hope that they end up putting it in the main roster, at least some people in the main roster. They could start off with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then branch out to Omega, Baby, Super 17, Pan, Oob, all those guys, and make them DLC. I wouldn't care, but one thing I don't want is for us to get our hopes up of GT being in the main roster, because now that Dragon Ball Super is a thing, they're probably going to focus more on that and Dragon Ball Z and just kind of push GT to the side. And honestly, to me, it makes a little bit of sense, because in the past, they've always put Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT in the game and then made like all the super characters like DLC. Like, for example, Xenoverse and or Fighters, right? I mean, there's only like, what, 2 GT characters and Fighters, but they were both DLC. GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta were DLC. In Xenoverse, they put GT characters already in the game, and only, I think it was Oob and Baby were like the only 2 GT characters that were DLC. Every other character that was DLC at the time in Xenoverse were Dragon Ball Super characters, because Xenoverse was a part of the ongoing series. Even when the series ended, they were still adding super characters to Xenoverse. So maybe they're trying to switch it up, I'm not sure. But yeah, I wouldn't be getting your hopes too up about GT being in the main roster. It's possible for sure, and I do hope so, but I wouldn't get your hopes up about it. Same with OG Dragon Ball. OG Dragon Ball didn't even make it in the Xenoverse. So I I mean, this is a Budokai Tenkaichi game. They have to add OG Dragon Ball. I just don't know when they plan on doing that. I don't think OG Dragon Ball can carry a DLC pack worthy enough, but I definitely could be wrong on that. So that's that. Now the next thing is the main thing that I wanted to cover. Let's see if I can get to it. I think. How do I get to my? Oh. Sorry guys, it's late. I'm tripping. It's late. So this, right? This is talking about how online battles will work in SparkingZero. I saw this clip and I thought this was very interesting, and I took a look at the comments on this, and there's some people that like it and there's some people that obviously don't like it. So let's just listen to this and then I'll give my thoughts on it from there.
While realizing this, of course there's quite a gap in the character stats. To balance it out, there's a cost system per character.
Okay.
So you got team fights with up to 5 characters, and of course you can't just put 5 very strong characters in your team because it would eat up all the cost because they're more expensive. While characters like Mr. Saturn will be quite low cost.
Of course.
So by capping this overall cost that you can spend in a team, we're balancing out the fights on that level.
Nice. Okay, that's a good.
So
All right. So basically, what he said was that they're creating a cost system for online battles. I assume this would be for ranked battles like he set up here and not just normal online matches. But basically we said they're creating a team cost system so that you can't just hop in the online and just use 5 OP characters on the same team and go absolutely ham. And coming from a fair perspective, it makes a lot of sense. Now I know this game isn't meant to be super competitive, I guess. Like, it's not like Tekken or Street Fighter or any of those other games, but just the sheer option of having 5v5 as a game mode, knowing that every character has different stats, is already bad enough in its own, because you're creating an environment where you would be able to use 5 of the top 10 strongest characters on the team. Those are going to be the only characters you run into every single match. Now, this is fantastic because it forces people to actually use other characters. I do not want to play the same 5 characters every single time in ranked in order for me to win, right? One of the first characters I'm going to use when I hop on this game is Hit. Hit is going to be the very first character that I touch in this game, period, right? My initial lineup of 5 characters that I wanted to use in 5v5 was going to be Hit, Goku Black, Vegeta Blue, Android 17, and Vegeta. Those are going to be the 5 characters that I use. Now, if you listen to that, on paper, that lineup is absolutely crazy. But now with the team cost system, I can probably only use like 2, maybe 3 of those characters. And the other 2 are going to have to be lower cost characters. So it forces me to have to actually learn how to use new characters so that I can actually, I don't know, be good at the game and not just use the most OP characters. Because think about it. You would be mad if you ran into Ultra Instinct, Broly, Gogeta, Vegeta, Goku Black in every single match. It would be exhausting. And I love that they're adding this because it forces a diversity. You're going to see people, for example, using third form Frieza. You're going to see people using like the Doria. You're going to see people using Zarbon, Krillin, Yamcha, Tien. All these different characters. This game has too many characters for you to be using the same 5 people over and over and over again. So the team cost system, in my opinion, is great. If you don't like the team cost system, I feel like that's a personal problem, in my opinion. Because I've seen some people say, oh, the point of rating match or ranked is to use your best versus their best. But it's like, this game is like everybody has different stats and different types. So it's really not best versus best. It's just who can pick the characters with the better stats and the better spam moves and the better this, and that. Now, with the team cost system, yeah, you can pick maybe 1 or 2 characters with some OP stats, but you better have somebody like Krillin on that team, or Yamcha, or Chaozu, or Nappa, or Raditz, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I like that. And it's gonna force me to have to learn how to play other characters, because initially, obviously, going into this game, I don't want to learn how to play everybody on the roster off rip. I'm gonna stick to 1, 2, 3 characters at most, and then diversify myself out from there. When I'm ready to play 5v5 ranked, that's when I'm gonna start learning these other characters. But as of right now, I'm only gonna stick to a certain amount of characters and then go from there. So I really like the team cost system. I don't think this ruins ranked. I think this is very fair and balanced. Again, this game, as of right now, doesn't seem like it's going to be super competitive. And even if it was super competitive, I'm sure they would have the team cost system implemented. Like if they have tournaments, for example, it's going to have a team cost system. You're not going to be able to hop into a tournament and use Ultra Instinct, Broly, Gogeta, Vegeta on the same team. That's just, as cool as it is, it's just like, it's too much. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. Now for casual, I would say have at it, right? Casual online gaming, have at it. You know what I'm saying? If you're just hopping to a casual 5v5 match, use whoever you want, right? Nobody cares, right? Because win or lose, you're not losing anything out of that. But ranked has to be fair. And I think the team cost system is fair. If you played the old Tenkaichi games, there was a team cost system. You had the ability to implement a team cost system if you were to do 5v5 against like a friend or something. So it makes sense. And I'm really glad that they mentioned this, and I don't think that it is a horrendous decision. It says play the game how we want you to play the game and don't have fun. That's not the point, right? You can still use your favorite characters. You just can't put them all on the same team and just body everybody in ranked. That's not fun. That doesn't create competition. It's just who can pick the better character and spam more moves with the better 5 characters. It's not fun, right? I don't want to run into Ultra Instinct, Vegeta and Gogeta and Broly and Jiren every single match and get bodied by the same moves every single match. It creates a diversity, and I like this. This kind of lame. Adds a lot of importance, not running fusion characters. Yeah, this is another thing. People complain you won't be able to use your 5 favorite characters, whatever, but you can still fuse in this game. So you run Goku and Vegeta, and let's just say you have Piccolo, Trunks, and Gohan. You can fuse with Goku and Vegeta and still technically have Vegeta on your team. I mean, it creates 2 characters into 1, but it's still a cool concept. It creates a more realistic environment for the game, and not just, oh, we're just gonna pick the biggest, baddest 5-piece we can have and just go at it. It's not fun that way. I don't know. I'd imagine this game is on the balance patches that fluctuate the value of certain characters. I guess. I mean, I feel like the stats are gonna be what makes certain characters as good as they are. Like off rip, you're gonna know who's good and who's not. I just think that's, you know, normal play won't have team points, of course. I wonder if customizing characters or capsules will change how many points a character. I'm not sure. That's a good question though. Changing Broly from a cost 10 to cost 8 means we'll be seeing more of him in tournaments. I don't know, but I imagine Broly would be a very high cost character, so I wouldn't consider running him with like Gogeta or something. But yeah, Destruction Battle from the last game. Yep, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Characters have points assigned to them, and you have a max of 20 points. The stronger the characters are, they're worth more, but you can't use a full team in that case. Exactly what it is. But yeah, I think that this is really good for the game, and I am excited. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover for this video. It has been a while, but we're back on the grind. We have a little under 50 days, about 40 something more days left until SparkingZero comes out. I can't wait, man. The countdown is here. So with that being said, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Follow SparkingZero News on Twitter. He's pretty good at what he does. I enjoy it. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, go ahead and do that. And other than that, yeah, I'll see you boys in the next one.